Thank you for your interest in SHOKAY. My name is Carol. I'm one of the co-founders, and it's really my privilege to be able to share with you a little bit about who we are and what we do. So as many of you know, we started in 2006 with Maria and I. We were classmates then at the Harvard Kennedy School, and we were trying to understand issues of poverty and how we can apply sustainable solutions to the Chinese context. And so we went into Yunnan, and in Yunnan we had an observation, and that there is a huge developmental need. And so across the plateau there are many Tibetan herders, but their annual income is only 12,000 RMB. They live on subsistence farming with limited cash income. But at the same time, we also recognize that in the market there's starting to be a consumer need. There are consumers looking for well-designed, socially responsible products, but they have very few choices. And so we try to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and understanding that the Tibetan herders actually have a very rich resource, and that's yaks. And on average, every Tibetan herder family has about 30 to 40 yaks. And so we thought to ourselves, if we could take something of the yak and create a market for it, then maybe there's a chance for us to really make a difference along the Tibetan plateau. Because 80% of the world's yak population is in fact in Western China, spanning from Yunnan to Gansu, Qinghai, Tibet, and many other places. And so that's how we were inspired to start SHOKAY. It's a socially responsible lifestyle brand. We have an adult collection, we have a home collection, and our products are sold around the world. Let me tell you a little bit about our value chain. So we source directly from Tibetan herders in the Qinghai region, and we specifically work in the Heimahe township. Once we have the fibers, which we are able to source once a year, we outsource the combing to our manufacturing partners, where they have to clean the fibers, hair, comb, and dye it and make it into yarn. Once it's in yarn form, we can machine knit it, we can machine weave it. We also work with a cooperative of knitters in Chongming Island, and they hand knit many of our products. And from our operations based in Shanghai, we then sell in our own retail store here, but also ship around the world. We work primarily with two communities, and I mentioned them before. In Heimahe Township, families do struggle to survive with only 1,200 RMB, and we've been working there for 4 years. The other is Chongming Island. It's China's third largest island. It's actually right next to Shanghai, but it's remained a rural area, and where many of the men, the husbands, come into Shanghai to work as taxi cab drivers, for example, or construction workers, and the women stay behind to take care of their children. So knitting provides them with another form of employment, but also allowing them to have a flexible work schedule. The way our social enterprise model works is that we hope, by sourcing directly from Tibetan herders, we provide them a first level of income generation. And through our company, through our branding, our design, and our marketing, we hope to create at least 10 times the value of the original raw material. And then we sell to you, our consumers. And by buying our products, you then help us to have more resources for us to do our second level of work. And down the road, we hope to commit 1% of our sales revenue towards the Community Development Fund to break herders out of the cycle of poverty. Because we recognize it isn't just income generation, but it's many other factors as well that affect the community's development. And although we are small, we know that we are pioneers in the yak industry, and we really hope to create change, because as more people start to use yak, more Tibetan herders will have the opportunities to sell their fibers, and we can create a vibrant industry even in Western China. So here are some pictures, and this is where our fiber sourcing is. As I mentioned, we get to source once a year. We oftentimes rent out a public space in the village, and herders bring all of their fibers to us, and we inspect based on quality, and we pay them directly. Another income generation project that we've been developing is handspin yarns. And in the picture you can see Kate, who is our trainer, who's trained these Tibetan women how to handspin yarns directly from wool and from yak down. And while these Tibetan women have had generations of experience in spinning, they've always only spun on a spindle. So we've introduced a small wooden wheel, and through the wheel they can have greater productivity and spin more beautiful fibers that we can then use in our hand knit yarns. One project that my partner Marie developed this year is women's health training. So as she worked in the community, she realized that beyond income generation, having health training is extremely important. Because for most of these women, they only have, at best, 6 years level of education. And if we're able to provide some health training, at least when they have symptoms when they're sick, they can recognize them early and not much later when it's already a very serious issue. And to give you an idea of the 10,000 women who are in this area, there are only 8 doctors who service them. And of the 8 doctors, only 1 doctor is women. So in this training, we actually organized all the women, and we actually asked all the men, including the village heads and other leaders, to step aside so that we could provide a private opportunity for them to ask questions and to ask questions about their own women's health, which can oftentimes be a very sensitive issue. And we weren't sure the effectiveness of the program when we first began, but based on the overwhelming questions and women who walked for 3 to 4 hours just to come to our training, we realized that we tapped into another unmet need, and we hope to continue to do this more of this kind of work in the future. So here are some examples of where our products are sold. In Shanghai, we have our own SHOKAY flagship, and it's been featured in many places, including CNN. It's in an artistic neighborhood called Taikanglu, where there are coffee shops, boutiques, and art galleries, and many people come here to see the full SHOKAY collection of knitwear. Our products, as I mentioned, are also sold around the world. It's in China, but also in Europe, in France, in Belgium, and we've also recently entered Germany, and of course in USA, Australia, and Japan. This is a picture of our store in Waseda Hills in Tokyo. And we've been fortunate to have our products in our store featured in a lot of press, in particular in Japan. The store has been very well received, and we hope to continue to improve our product as well. In May of this year, we published a book in Japan, primarily talking about the story and how we came to formulate SHOKAY. And so another part of what we do is exactly what this film is, to share about the story, not just from the product point of view, but also from the concept of social enterprise, because we hope to encourage more people to join us in this journey to see how we can create very positive change. So thank you for spending this time to watch this video, and we hope that you come visit SHOKAY very often.